how did everybody feel about day one of E3 overall before we kind of dive into the Ubisoft conference? Because I feel like that was the biggest thing that happened today, and some people would argue that was the only thing that happened today, but it was pretty big. There's a lot of stuff shown. A lot of interesting, cool, new stuff.
Ubisoft was consistently good. I liked it. Like, the show was, I mean, yeah, a few pacing issues, but overall they showed stuff I cared about. And the end of the Ubisoft conference made the whole thing a lot better for me. I mean, Riders Republic was cool, but getting Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, I'm in.
So that's the Division team, right?
Yeah, it's Division team working on Frontiers of Pandora. Yeah.
Right. So that's like an open. I'm assuming it's open world. It's current gen only. They confirmed. So this game is going to be, no pun intended, massive. Right.
Josh and I were also talking. It's like it might be part of the Inquisition team as well, because they aren't known to be working on anything major. And we know part of that team did get secluded to do something else. And there's elements, like in that trailer, I was like, there were parts of it, especially with the creature design, that was like, man, that looks exactly like Dragon Age.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it was cool, though. I'm way more interested in that game than I am the 900 sequels that are in development for the movie. Right. But yeah, they showed a lot of Far Cry. That season pass looks interesting. Revisiting the villains, also Far Cry Blood Dragon HD remastered or whatever they're calling it that's a win. That's a win right there. That's worth the season pass. So, no new Assassin's Creed. Oh, sorry, Jesse. I know you're a big Far Cry guy.
Yeah, I've played all of them. But honestly, I know a lot of people didn't like 5, but 5 today is still by far my favorite. I'm also not super. I don't care too much about story stuff. All in my opinion, all their stories are pretty weird and crazy in some way. And I just kind of liked the setting of these just crazy people that are a cult, cult people. I just found all of it hilarious. And then when they started mixing in the this the drug stuff and the mystical kind of weird, just making it even weirder. I just absolutely loved all of it. I just was completely in for it. So, I tried going back and playing 4 again after playing 5, and I just everything gameplay wise was improved in 5. So I'm excited to see what they kept as far as the mechanics of 5 and what they improved on, and if it's like the last games, it seems like every game they kind of improved and got better with each one. So yeah. I'm just really looking forward to see what they did to improve on the last one, even though I thought it was perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what I will say is, for the Far Cry franchise, that's just personally not my, type of game that I get into. I think it's a first-person shooter. But, I did cover it today, and when I was watching that extended cinematic trailer, I don't know if we'll get more into that later, but man, did it want me to get invested in this franchise, and that I think that says something if it wants to attract people that don't usually play that genre or whatever. I love the villain. I have a thing with villains. If they can create a good villain, that's it. Take my money. I will get the gold edition with the season pass. I'm invested. So
yeah, and I mean that this seems like the story is going to be way more important to the game than it has been in the past.
Yeah.
I know people enjoy the story, right? But this seems like it's taken to a whole nother level. I was actually way more interested in this than 5, and 4 got me interested a little bit, but I never got it. 3 was okay, right? But I know 3 and 4 are people's favorites. 5, people can go either way on it. I feel like, Jesse, I know you liked it a lot, but this really was man, they want you to be invested in not just this character, but the villain and, you know, what's going on. Obviously, it's some sort of, you know, Cuban, what do you call it? You know, like not a metaphor. I can't think of the word. I'm real dumb right now. But it just looks really cool. It got me invested in a franchise that I'm not invested in. And I think that's a good, a good win for whoever's doing PR in this game, whoever cut the trailer for this game. It was cool. So.
And isn't this a continuation of 4?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. So it's supposed to take place
at least part of the
4.
story does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Because 4 is kind of takes place in the same like the same area, but yeah, this is supposed to be a continuation because like most people love 4. Like that's most people's favorite.
It's my it's definitely mine.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, like I said, I do appreciate it. From a story point, 4 is probably the best one. For if you're, you know, care a lot about what kind of story is being told.
Mm-hmm.
But like for me, I just when I play these kind of games, it's my chance to just do whatever I feel like and just not care about, you know, like in 5, man, like I had this, like one of the most fun times I had playing that game is I was just fishing and then I got into a boat and I hit something just perfectly that I launched the boat through the air and just crashed it right into a whole bunch of bad guys and just took a whole bunch of them right out with the boat. And just crazy nonsense like that's why I love those kind of open world games or sandbox games. It's just doing whatever I feel like and not caring about, you know, the story. And I think that's kind of why Breath of the Wild, like, you know, it hooked me so much, is just because like there's no like particular way that you really have to play that game. And sometimes I prefer that. And I feel like the Far Cry games have kind of always been where there's just so much going on that you can just kind of do things however you feel like, you know. And I love that in an open world game.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. You know, we'll get into this run of the show in a second. But it's also not a Ubisoft show without a Just Dance game being announced. And like, I was like kind of watching it because we were getting ready to go to a party tonight, and so I was kind of watching it while I was like in the bathroom getting ready and whatever. And like all of a sudden, I just hear like this weird song going on. I'm like, what is happening? Like, usually it's like some like, I don't know, club mix of like Lady Gaga or something. I'm like, what is happening on this stream? And I'm like, oh man, another Just Dance. Just Dance. No Wii version this year, guys.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I wonder if
it's clock to that. There's a Just Dance game coming out from Ubisoft every year.
Do you guys remember that? Now that's what you call music or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Aren't they on like 734 now or something?
Do you think this will be like the video game version of it? Because it just seems like they're just
It already is.
It's been that way for years.
And let me tell you, the only reason why I have Just Dance 2021 is because, you know, I have friends who have like teenage daughters, and like the only way to like kind of, you know, get them to like hang out and chill or whatever is, I don't know, they're really into it. So I ended up buying it, and I don't know. I tried once because I'm like, all right, I got to not look like a fool in front of these teenagers, so I'm going to practice a song or two. I'm pretty sure I injured myself. It was so hard. I couldn't dance, couldn't keep up. Damn. I mean, it's not my game, but I could say I tried it.
Wow. That's
well, I'll tell you what. I'll let people in on a secret. I feel like this is the same for almost most kids. You might as well just put it on YouTube, because my kids played it a whole like 2 times and they've never touched it, and they would rather just watch the songs on YouTube. Like, honestly, like, it's one of those games where if like all the kid really wants to do is hear the music, we'll just play the videos of someone who played it on YouTube, and it's like, and if you want to, you can still dance to it because they're showing, everything that's on the screen. You essentially can do. I mean, yeah, you don't have the controller or whatever, but who cares? Then you're not getting yelled at that you're not doing good or whatever anyway. So
getting yelled.
No, but that's very true. I mean, my Just Dance 2021 got used like once, and I really am just curious to know if they really do that well in sales. Also, when you buy the game, you only get like an X number of songs, and like I hated almost all the songs, maybe like one from the weekend I liked. And so I tried their free trial of like the full library. So I'm like, why would I want to pay a subscription to have access to all these songs? So, but I guess that's how they make their money, right?
Yeah, because that's pretty steep too. It wasn't. It wasn't that cheap for that, wasn't it? Like
$60. Yeah, it's always been a $60 game.
Yeah,
that's a
game.
I know they're doing this. I know they're
for the service.
Do they have a service? Is that what
it was like a season pass, wasn't it? Oh. And it was like $30.
Oh. You had to pay something. I thought a month.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, and it's for life. Like it's if you want those songs that are in the library, you got to continually pay that monthly fee.
Gross.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I thought. I mean, at least that's what I thought it was.
Yep, it is. It's called Ubisoft Just Dance Unlimited, and you can pay day, month, year. But for example, it's $30 a year, just so you can have access to the full catalog. Yeah.
Got to make that money somehow.
Yeah.
My wife has a family of friends that she goes to visit every now and then, and they don't play games at all. But I went over there just as the pandemic was ending. It was the first time we'd seen them in a year, and we go in and their teenage daughters are dancing to Just Dance on the Wii, and it was Just Dance 19. So they keep putting these out on the Wii, so I had to look it up. I was like, why are they coming out to the Wii? And apparently Ubisoft has continuously donated Wiis to hospitals and retirement homes and stuff like that with copies of Just Dance, and they do it every year. And so up until I think 19, it was the last one, they keep putting out the Wiis with the Just Dance copies, which I think is, at least that's a good thing, is getting people who are maybe in recovery trying to get some mobile again, or in retirement homes or something like that, maybe schools.
I don't know. Some of those dances are pretty intense.
Right. See Grandma
throwing
getting
a hip
down
out.
with some of those.
It was twerking.
I don't know. Yeah, there's some pretty hip grandmas out there.
Grandma popping her booty to
well, it looks like we know what the title of this episode is called. Grandma's popping her booty.
You know who's had hip replacement surgeries at that nursing home?
Yeah.
Man,
I'm just saying.
So besides Ubisoft, Gearbox went today. A little bit more on what Tiny Tina, and they went behind the scenes on the movie, which, Kevin Hart not giving Randy Pitchford a high five was pretty hilarious. But
that was
God, dude, he tries so hard, and he just like, just go away, man. I'm sorry. Like, Tiny Tina looks amazing, but Randy Pitchford needs to go away.
I like how he kept saying, like, oh, this movie's going to be great. It's going to be great. We haven't seen anything from the movie.
Now, do you
I
think
don't know what anybody looks like in costume. I don't know if they're going to have, the art style of the movie yet. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah. Do you think he's going to like it? Do you think he's going to like this movie more or less than the porn he had on that thumb drive he lost?
Probably less, because from that porn he learned something.
Yeah, and it was magical.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that's never
Grandma popping her booty.
It was.
It was the name of the porno.
So I thought it was Mario Hose.
Oh jeez.